My next update has to do with an overlooked document. The National Bureau of Economic Research, one of the most respected economic think tanks in the country, issued a paper in November of 2020, authored by a well-respected bank specialist, Lawrence Ball, B-A-L-L, for those of you who might look beyond it. This paper looked at whether or not the biggest banks in America, excuse me, were adequately covered with capital, could handle a crisis. And he looked at the 6 largest U.S. banks in terms of the stress tests that they are subjected to and that have been reported. If I had more time, I'd go through his paper, but I want to just present you with the conclusion. Based on his research covering the fourth quarter of 2019, the tests he thinks would have to be made now under current conditions to see if the banks could handle a crisis suggest, and I'm now quoting from the abstract of that paper, it is unlikely, I'm quoting, it is unlikely that any of the 6 biggest banks in America would survive a liquidity crisis for 30 days. This negative finding is most clear-cut for Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley. Those are the 2 biggest banks in the country. They couldn't survive for 30 days if we had a crisis of the dimensions we have now. That was a finding last month. When you are told that our government has its financial house in order, please keep this in mind.